What's going on, guys? As you can tell by the way I'm dressed, we're in the late night hours of the scent bubble. I am your host for the evening, and guess what? Today we are talking about a fragrance that I feel is in a lot of ways what Club D Nuit Intense Man should have been, even though it is a stellar fragrance that is world renowned, that many people have come to adore as the best clone of Creed Aventus. I still believe the fragrance we're going to talk about today is actually better than that. Can you guess what it is? Grab your drinks, grab all the necessary things you need for the episode, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, welcome to the scent bubble. Appreciate you guys for spending time with me tonight. We'll get right into it. Without further ado, the fragrance we are going to talk about today is from the house of Bentley. I don't have autofocus. House of Bentley. This is Bentley for Men Black Edition. Now, I already kind of spoiled the beans in the intro, but guess what? I don't care. This is what Club D Nuit Intense Man could have been. I have Club D Nuit Intense Man right here. And just for reference, I'm going to sit it by me. But listen, in no way am I saying this is a bad fragrance at all. I love this fragrance for the fact that it is so shockingly close to Creed Aventus. It's not even funny. Two, like a lot of the Club D Nuit line, massive projections, sillage, and performance. And for the price, you just cannot believe how quality the perfumery is with a fragrance like this. That's super forward, smoky pineapple, touch of lemon, just a little bit of earthiness, woods. I mean, it's just, it's the most classiest upscale pineapple manly man's fragrance you're going to come across. Now, let me tell you why Bentley Black Edition is better. I feel like it offers, why do I feel it's better? To me, it's of the DNA profile of Aventus somewhat. It's not necessarily pineapple, but it's one of those type of fragrance where it has a super pungent, fruit forward type of fragrance, but just has an incredible backbone of like just woods and earthy tones and spice. It's just dressed up a little bit better for me. Like a lot of people's complaint with Club D Nuit, if they even have a complaint, is that it's too pineapple-y, it's too lemony. And it's just kind of one of those things where if you don't really like pineapple or lemon and pineapple comboed together, you really aren't going to like that fragrance because it screams pineapple-y lemon forwardness in its presentation. And it's not, it's not ashamed of that, so to speak. Like the people who absolutely love this fragrance, that's why they love it, because it takes a fruity profile that they like, but just puts so much rich class behind it. And it really just is ramped up by so many things going on in the background. And I think this fragrance is no different, but it just takes it down a slightly different route. Like it's doing the same thing that Aventus does, but just with different notes. And when you combine that idea with the fact that you can get this fragrance for $25, 100 ml, and it's not a clone house, this is Bentley. You know what I'm saying? It puts it just a hair above Club D Nuit Intense Man, in my humble opinion, even the limited edition. This is one of the only car houses, maybe outside of Mercedes-Benz, that I feel I would blind buy almost the entire line of Bentley. And Bentley has a lot to choose from. I want you guys to check this out. Let's do Fragrantica real quick. For those of you who don't know, Bentley has an insane amount. Actually, let's do Fragrance by CA, just so I can show you guys these a lot quicker. Bentley has so many fragrances. I'm just going to skim through them real quick. The one most people are commonly known for checking out is this Bentley Intense for Man, which Black Edition absolutely spanks that, and I'm going to tell you why later in the episode. We have Bentley Absolute, Momentum, Black Edition, Infinite Rush, Azure, Beyond the Collection, Bentley Classic, Bentley Momentum Unlimited. I mean, just look at all these bottles of freaking Bentley. And trust me when I tell you that almost all of them offer exquisiteness, class, great perfumery, nuance. They're not all the same. They all offer a different aspect of manliness, but all of them come across with just fresh, upscale manliness. You want to smell like a man? Grab the entire Bentley line, and it's going to offer you a bunch of nuance in the category of man. It's going to offer you aromatic, fresh, citrus, fruity, boozy, sweet. I mean, it just woods, spices. It's endless, guys, what Bentley has to offer. And as you guys saw on that website, almost every fragrance on there now is under $30 for the most part. So that's absolutely incredible. Now let's get to the initial thoughts of the fragrance. I apologize I'm in a shirt as such tonight, but sometimes you just got to turn on the camera and go, and you don't really have time to do all the details because by the time you dress up and think about your camera lighting and everything, it's already time for bed, at least in my household. Okay, so initial thoughts on this fragrance. Pungent fruit up front. Think it's probably on the orange or lemon. Something in the orange family. It almost has like pungent fruit, backdrop of floral sitting on like it's woods, but it's such light woods that I almost want to say it's mostly like just earthy notes of, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's grass, soil, woods, just aromatics in general. Maybe like a tobacco, but I don't want to say tobacco because I really feel like I don't smell tobacco. I just feel like there's a lot of earthiness sitting behind this, but it's rich. It's almost like a rich, earthy tone with a touch of cedar or something, but then super fruit front forward with slight touch of floral behind it. It's zingy, it's zesty, like Club de Nuit Intense. I feel like the fruit note, unlike, Club de Nuit Intense, the pineapple is so forward and so pungent and so juicy, whereas this, the fruit is pungent and forward, but it's so smooth that it almost feels a touch lighter than what Club de Nuit is doing. It feels more refined, more crisp, more masculine. It's not just fruit forward. Like, you almost don't even know what this fruit is. I feel like it's a touch of either a citrus or like orange maybe. I'm not sure. Let's go to the note breakdown and figure this whole thing out. This is just upscale manliness in a bottle, guys. But I feel like it's not old manliness. I feel like this is young, ambitious, manly fragrance. You could come out of the Bentley smelling exactly how you look in this category. So tangerine. So I want to say, guys, that this tangerine note is more like bitter orange. Like, it's not like super bright, airy, crisp tangerine. It's more of the rininess of the tangerine, but it is very fruity. It's just refined and smooth, almost like a tangerine wine reduction sauce that you'd throw on the pan. It's still pungent, but it's warm. It's smooth. It's ambery. Pink pepper. Do I feel like it's spicy? Not quite. It's got some zinginess to it, but it's not, you don't smell like how black pepper comes across. It's like a smooth spiciness, I think, from the pink pepper. Backdrop violet, I do kind of smell it tinging the orange a little bit, which was why it was kind of hard for me to identify tangerine. It felt a little more citrus due to the floral tinge. But check out all this background here, because this is really what masculines this up. We have papyrus, earthy notes, patchouli, sweet notes in jasmine. Base, we have cedar. Okay, there's that cedar note. Moss, incense, tobacco, and tonka bean. Guys, let me tell you that incense definitely creeps out through here. So I think, in a nutshell, we have kind of this violety tangerine spiced up with pink pepper. Ignore the nutmeg. Then all of this earthiness and it still maintains its sweetness from whatever this sweet notes is. Who knows what notes that actually is, but the mid is very earthy, but the earthiness stays sweet. It just kind of almost smells aromatic, like almost like the tiniest crispest touch of like pine forest almost. That's what that earthiness reads through as. And then on the bottom, you strictly get cedar, moss, and incense. Don't smell tobacco at all. Maybe the tonka bean is what's upholding the tangerine and sweet notes that are in the mid and floral, just kind of keeping it sweet. But again, it's kind of savory sweet in that aspect. Again, with a fragrance profile this complex, I can only point you to what I get from the fragrance. And what I predominantly get is that pungent tangerine forwardness. I get the floral touch to it, but I don't necessarily smell white florals or violet per se. It's kind of just like a floral tinge to a super tangerine forward fragrance. But that tangerine is really only about 40%, similar to how Club de Nuit is super pineapple forward, but it's not the entire show. It's just like 40-50%. But then the backdrop of just all of this earthy, like almost like foresty aromatics, but super light, airy, crisp with that earthiness tones. And it's almost like a crisp green foresty aromatic, not necessarily green leaning or ground leaning. It's the aromatics of going through like a super green forest, and you just get a touch of breath of that, like 20% rushing through the fragrance. And then it predominantly sits on a strong, like I would say maybe 40-50% backbone of cedar, incense, moss. Call it a day. I hope that's helpful for you guys. Again, 100 ml, $25 for the Black Edition. I think the Black Edition is way better than Bentley Intense for Men. That just seems too boozy, too like shaving cream / boozy sweet. It's too sweet. But the weird part about it is it does smell very manly, but it smells like something like a 40, 50-year-old man would wear. Like if a older man was trying to come off like very known but like sweet, it's almost got two contradictory ideas. It's almost got like an old school fougere kind of barbershop booziness, but then it's like overly sweet, which is kind of like a younger man's quality. So I don't know, that fragrance just seems confusing. It definitely smells high class and like rich, but it's just a note profile that's just utterly confusing to me. Like a young person would lean towards it because it's sweet, but then find that it smells too old and fougere to me. So I feel like this is, again, down your Creed Aventus type of DNA, but just offers a whole different note profile to it. It's got the mysteriousness of the incense. It's got the earthiness, the fresh greenness, but then that tangerine violet up front just gives it, this is like complete standalone to Creed Aventus in my opinion, in terms of just offering a different tinge to that very manly man's smell. Age to this fragrance, 25 and up. If you're 25 and under, you better drive a nice car or have some real upscale swag to your fit. This isn't Air Force Ones and like, Nike jumpsuit type wear. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be dressed up a little bit, collared shirt, got your nice watch on, some nice fitted jeans. You know what I'm saying? This is upscale, but I do think once you crack 25 years old, it could be a casual fragrance, but it's slightly semi-formal. It can go casual, I think, depending on how light you spray it and how airy the room is. But I think it's just a touch more in the classy category. This is your rich man's casual fragrance to me. But I think you can also dress it up suit and tie for people who are like, 35 and under. Guys, this is an absolute steal for the money to me. Like, no question, blind buy worthy. Even if you're too young for this fragrance, cop it now. You will grow into it. Trust me, this will be a staple to your collection, and I can't wait to get more bottles from the House of Bentley. I do plan on dropping like $150 and just grabbing like 6 more fragrances to share with you guys. We went over price, went over age, use case, projection, and longevity. This is similar to Club D Nui Intense Man, slightly less than Beast Mode though. I would give it an 8. I think it's probably like a 6 to 8 hour fragrance. Projection is great. Sillage is incredible. This is just a touch less, maybe by 1 point less of projection and sillage than Club D Nui Intense, but that's a super incredibly beast mode fragrance, so I don't think it's saying much that this is slightly less than it. It'll definitely get the job done. For me, when I go out, I'm rocking 6 to 8 sprays, and I never have to touch it again for the day. Final thoughts. Get your nose on this. I think it's blind buy worthy for the fact that it's only $25, and this will be an incredible manly man staple that's ageless to your fragrance collection, that provides a Creed Aventus type DNA, but just in a different direction, and paints a different color of that manly, upscale, rich profile. Hopefully you guys rocked with the episode. Have a blessed night. Talk to you soon. Peace.